The original savings card expired June 30th for non-covered patients, and for covered patients, it will expire year end. We've also been having shortage issues, problems getting our medications. More prescriptions are being written, and the demand for Mounjaro has increased in the U.S. alone for off-label weight loss, for inflammatory disease, for headaches, for diabetes, and other things. This is the number one reason why I personally listen to this quarter's earnings calls for Mounjaro. And here's what I learned. So what are earnings calls? Earnings calls are a conference call between a public company, investors, analysts, the media, as well as patients of this particular company to discuss financial results this past quarter. Now, although finance is very important because I am an investor, but my priority for this call was, what are we doing with tirzepatide? What does the future look like? How am I going to get my medicine? And this is what they said. Now, guys, this call was a little less than an hour and a half long, and I don't want to misinform you, so I had to take notes to present to you guys. Now, as far as tirzepatide, this quarter, tirzepatide grossed $960 million. Paid scripts estimated an increase up to 67%, up from 55% of quarter one. Paid scripts are scripts that were paid outside of the $25 copay of the non-covered copay card. That's the card that I had. They did not include that. But it did include the $25 covered copay card. That's the card that some people have who have insurance that pay a portion. Since the non-covered card expires 6/30th, the expectation for the proportion of paid scripts will increase to 100% by the end of the year. Meaning, by the end of next quarter, clarification, meaning there will be no more savings card for non-covered patients this fiscal year. Okay? There will be no more card for us. Now, because so many scripts were written this year, this quarter, the expectations of even more scripts are expected. They're also expecting us to have more access. They have confirmed that production was underway in North Carolina, meaning the plant is open. They are producing pens. However, because of this increase in written scripts and high demand, they are saying that access is still going to be tight. However, because this plant is open, it'll be a little bit better, and then they have also outsourced to help with the production. Now, the great news about all of this is they are estimating to distribute vials by the end of the year, and they're also beginning production of multi-dose quick pens. Now, the quick pens are going to start overseas first, and then they're going to incorporate that in the U.S. probably, hopefully, by the beginning or mid-2024. Now, guys, not only did they talk about the demand of the medication here, they also talked about Mounjaro now being available in some countries overseas. So now there is a global demand for tirzepatide, which prompted them to want to make the quick, the multi-dose quick pens, and they are going to start overseas before they start here. So keep that in mind. We are going to have access to the vials. They are going to have access to the pens, and then the pens will follow in the U.S. of next year. Now, I'm very concerned about how they're going to distribute the vials here in the U.S. Like, are they going to distribute them like they distributed the vials of insulin, like they used to distribute vials? I don't know that they distribute vials of insulin anymore. I know they have the multi-dose pens now and things of that nature. So I'm very interested in the expectations of how they project that the masses will do with a vial. And I'm very apprehensive about it a little bit because we're already doing the most with opening up the pens and giving ourselves the doses that we want to give. So I'm very, very concerned about that. Although if we do it the way they order it, it can work out for us. We need these vials. But human error is always subject to cause problems. Now, at the end of every earnings call, they allow people to call in and ask questions. And I love this person's question, but I love the answer even more. One young lady, I didn't get her name, she asked, as far as the Nova Select Buddy, she's talking about the multi-dose pen. She asked, will it help improve reimbursement for obesity drugs? And the gentleman responded, he said, he hopes that it changes the conversation of benefits of weight loss away from the aesthetics of weight loss in the direction of health benefits of people with obesity and the comorbidities that accompany it. And he also says there are 236 obesity-related complications and comorbidities related to obesity, you guys. He even gave examples. He said, with obesity, there's an increase by 243% for diabetes. There's an increase of 69% for coronary artery disease. There's an increase of 113% of hypertension related to obesity. And then he also said there's an increase of 74% of dyslipidemia, all secondary to obesity. So he says all of those comorbidities attribute to over $1 trillion in the U.S. alone. $1 trillion to take care of those comorbidities in the U.S. alone. I love that. So what does that say to us? We need to treat obesity as a chronic disease so that we can help out the economy, but most importantly, save lives when it comes to cardiovascular disease and diabetes. You guys, meet me in the next video because this has got to be a series, because this earnings call was on point.